On this vote, the yeas are 415 and the nays are 14. The bill is passed.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So throughout history, Juneteenth has been known by many names: Jubilee Day, Freedom Day, Liberation Day, Emancipation Day, and today, a national holiday.
All right.
Blackwell's Bench. Hey folks, this is Gerald Blackwell on Blackwell's Bench. This is Juneteenth. I wanted to bring you just a little bit of history and a poem. Let's get right to it. Juneteenth is the oldest national celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States. Dating back to 1865, it was on June 19th the Union soldiers led by Major General Gordon Granger landed at Galveston, Texas, with news that the war had ended and that the enslaved were now free. Note that this was 2.5 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which had become official January 1, 1863. The Emancipation Proclamation had little impact on the Texans due to the minimal number of Union troops to enforce the new executive order. However, with the surrender of General Lee in April of 1865 and the arrival of General Granger's regiment, the forces were finally strong enough to influence and overcome the resistance. Later attempts to explain this 2.5-year delay in the receipt of this important news have yielded several versions that have been handed down through the years. Often told is the story of a messenger who was murdered on his way to Texas with the news of freedom. Another is that the news was deliberately withheld by the enslavers to maintain the labor force on the plantations. And still another is that federal troops actually waited for the slave owners to reap the benefits of one last cotton harvest before going to Texas to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. All of which, or none of these versions, could be true. Certainly, for some, President Lincoln's authority over the rebellious states was in question. Whatever the reasons, conditions in Texas remained status quo, well beyond what was statutory. Wasn't that a great history lesson? Now, let's get to the poem. This poem is called Keep in Your Heart the Blood. Remember always the glory days, the dances, the songs, the chants, the rituals, the customs, the people. Remember times in beautiful Africa, your people, from green forests to golden deserts, to the deepest, darkest regions in the Congo and Virunga. Here is the land. Hear always in your heart the beating of the drums, the ancient customs of the Kaganai. Remember always the kings and queens, Tutankhamun and Cleopatra. But do not sit and not remember the dark days. Keep in your heart the blood spilled by those who fought for freedom. The blood of the slave as the whip touches the flesh. Do not be enslaved. Be now empowered. Feel it. Taste it. Drink it. Gather it in buckets. Bathe in it. Bathe your children in it. Keep in your heart the blood. That was a poem. It was an unknown author. But folks, I'm just here to let you know Juneteenth is here, and we should remember everything about Juneteenth. Remember and do a service for someone. Remember what our ancestors did for us. Remember what they did for us to be where we are today. We thank them, and we want to keep fighting so our children can be better and have better than what we have. Folks, like I always say, there's a seat for everyone on Blackwell's bench.
There's a seat for everyone on Blackwell's bench.